Healing for His Omega. Male, Alpha, Omega, MPREG. The Outcast Chronicles, Book 3. Written by Crista Crown and Harper B. Cole. Narrated by Kenneth Obi for Falcon Sound Company. Chapter 1. Benjamin.
Kit and I played with Aspen and Evan while Jesse and Nick finished up their appointments with Meredith. It was strange how easily I found a sense of normalcy in this pack of various shifters. Aspen crawled over and slapped at the toy truck Evan was playing with. He screeched and instinctively reached out to stop her. But I scooped him up and pulled him into my lap. Kit distracted Aspen while I dealt with my son's anger. No, Evan, that's not nice. Aspen is your friend. We play nice with our friends. We hawks were snappish by nature, used to defending what was ours. Not much different from wolves, I supposed. Evan started to squirm in my arms, so I ruffled his hair. If we had been in animal form, I would have preened him, but even in human form, the gesture calmed him. Both children turned to look at the sound of footsteps coming down the stairs. At the sight of Jesse's face, Aspen let out a screech of delight. I guess I will be back next month, Meredith said, closing her bag. Won't you stay for a cup of tea? Jesse was obsessed with his tea. Meredith smiled and moved easily into the living room as if she'd been expecting the invitation. I may have brought a little something just for the occasion. She reopened her bag and pulled out a jar of herbs. Jesse clutched the jar to his chest with reverence. You're an angel, Meredith. Evan crawled out of my lap to play with Aspen again. I kept an eye on him, but his anger had passed quickly. He was generally good with the younger girl, but he was only 3. Benjamin, would you like some tea? Jessie called from the kitchen. What kind? I asked. I have Meredith's herbal concoction. That wakes you up without any caffeine, or I have English breakfast tea. I'll try some of the magical stuff. Meredith laughed. It isn't actual magic, she said. Just herbs, safe for pregnancies. Speaking of pregnancies, what do you do, Benjamin? Nick laughed awkwardly. Benjamin isn't pregnant, Meredith. Meredith blushed with a hint of embarrassment. I'm so sorry, Benjamin. I didn't realize you were keeping it secret for now. I'm not pregnant, I said, feeling a sharp sting of pain and regret at the very notion. Charles and I had been trying before his death, but now it would never be. Meredith glanced between Nick and I. Oh dear, this is a bit awkward. Isn't there a rule that says you're never supposed to ask anyone if they're pregnant until they're giving birth? Nick joked. Oh, this is so very awkward, Meredith said, looking at the ceiling. But you are pregnant, Benjamin. Why was she so insistent about this? Was she completely blind as to how painful it was for me? I would think that we shifters would be able to scent it by now, Nick said, coming to my defense once again. You mean you don't smell it? Meredith looked more confused than ever. I'll settle this, Jesse said. He handed Nick, Kit, and Meredith their mugs of tea, then crouched down next to me. May I scent you? Jesse held his wrist up politely, his own scent gland exposed. This was all a bit ridiculous, but if it would get Meredith to shut up about me being pregnant, I'd do it. I offered up my wrist, and Jesse leaned down to scent me politely. He took a light breath and paused, then leaned closer, almost pressing his nose against my gland, taking a deeper breath. He looked up at me, almost apologetically. It's very faint, but I think Meredith is right. I shook my head. This was impossible. Surely fate wouldn't be so cruel as to give me the child Charles and I had longed for after so much tragedy. Benjamin, are you okay? My head was swimming. The walls were pressing in on me. Can you watch Evan? The words found their way out of my haze as I stumbled toward the door. Of course, but... Let him go. He's in shock.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?